League first grade fixture between the home side, the Entrance Tigers, and the visitors, the Berkeley Vale Panthers. This game is crucial for both sides. The Tigers still eyeing off the minor premiership and trail ladder leaders Wangaroos by only a solitary competition point, while the visiting Panthers know that a loss here today will all but put paid to any slim hope of playing finals football. I'm Chris McPherson. I'll be joining you this afternoon in commentary. Later this afternoon, I will be joined by Pete Lawler from the Entrance Tigers. Have a run through the team list as we see Berkeley Vale taking the field. We'll start with the home side, the Entrance Tigers. In 1 is Grant Nelson, the 2, Matt Nelson, 3, Harley Ridge, 4, Sean Corrigan, 5, Perry LeBrock. The halves in 6, Will Pearsall, and 14, Sione Tonga. The front rowers, 8, Noah Easton, and 10, Matt Fisk. The 9 will be Matt Killick, their skipper. The back row, 11, Jacob McCudden, 12, Jay Florimo, and 13, Ryan Doherty. The reserves, in 15, Luke Chant, 18, Sean Sinclair, 19, Jake Woods, and 21, Josh Walsh. The visitors, the Berkeley Vale Panthers, who we can see on screen, awaiting the Entrance Tigers at the moment. At fullback, in the 14 jersey, is Mitch Green. On the wings, in 2, John Carroll, and 5, Jason Littles. The centres, in 3, Jay Hemming, and 4, Mitch Renwick. Their halves will be Hayden Green and Alex Moore. The front rowers, in 8, Brody Green, and 20, Liam Scott. Lincoln Turbidity at 9. The back rowers, 11 is Jack Weir, 12, Riley Foote. 13 is Kane Wynyard. The 15 will be Kai Knight, and the 17, Kyle McBrearty. As we touched on in the intro there, it is a cold and blustery day here at EDSAC Oval. But the wind will play an interesting factor, certainly, in the fixture ahead. As we still await the home side, the Entrance Tigers, coming onto the field. They'll be cheered on by a guard of honour from their old boys who are here today to celebrate their Old Boys Day for this local rivalry with the Berkeley Vale Panthers. And it'll certainly be an interesting fixture ahead. The Entrance will enter this one as fairly significant favourites against the local rivals, the Panthers, coming off the back of 2 big wins in the last 2 weeks for the Tigers. 62-6 against the Kincumber Colts in round 15, and in round 14 they took down the Arimba Magpies 76 points to 4. They've got plenty of attacking potential out wide, the home side, and they'll look to attack on both edges. Keeping an eye on their winger, Matt Nelson, who has been an absolute standout for them last 2 weeks. Back-to-back hat-tricks, so it'll be interesting to see if he can pick up a 3rd hat-trick in 3 weeks this week here, and you'd certainly be a brave man if you're backing against the Tigers in this fixture. You can see referee Rob Bowen there trying to gain the attention of the Entrance Tigers and call them onto the field. The Berkeley Vale Panthers going to try and get the ball through the hands, keep warm here on a day that on your screens probably looks deceptively warm, but it is quite cool here with the blustery conditions. I'm still waiting for the Entrance to emerge from their sheds. They seem in no rush to take the field here. Scheduled kickoff still a minute or 2 away as they go through their final preps in there, and as we see Berkeley Vale just running the ball through the hands a few more times.
Where's Al?
You'll see the Entrance finally emerge, and you'll see them entering your screen in a moment from the right-hand side. And the referees centre up, and Berkeley Vale return to the field.
We've got 2 big events today. Today, Sean Corrigan and Perry LeBrock play their 100th birthday game. I've got the juniors, great club members of the unique scoring 3 tries in the Ron Mackey Grand Final.
Great occasion here for the Entrance, not only their Old Boys Day, but their centre, Sean Corrigan and Perry LeBrock, their winger, both tally up 100 games for the club today. So they'll be looking to cap the milestone with a win. As the side's led onto the field by their skipper, Matt Killick. And now go through the formalities.
How many short were they? 1, 2.
You see the last of the Tigers come out to the field. Jay Florimo stands out with that bright red hair and the head tape. So both sides lining up here, potentially minutes silence. Just wait for confirmation.
Can I have your attention, please? Could you all stand? We're going to observe a moment's silence for the passing of one of our coaching staff, David Smith, during the week. Dave coached the ladies league tag to the premiership last year and was very much an integral part of this club. Our condolences go to his family. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll be underway momentarily here. Looks like they've had their instructions from referee Rob Bowen. Looks like it'll be the entrance Tigers running from right to left of your screen, and they'll be bringing us underway. With that man we just mentioned, the skipper Matt Killick, who'll kick off as Berkeley Vale look to get set to receive this and head forwards.
16. We're still missing one.
Referee Bowen blows time on, and we're underway here at Edsack Oval. Juggled that first one as the Panthers take it forward now. On tackle 2, just over their 20-metre line. And I welcome Pete Lawler from the Entrance Tigers into commentary. How are we, Pete?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Chris.
Welcome
Thanks for
back.
having me.
No worries. Welcome back to Bar TV Sports. You've been on here a few times before.
Yep, I have. Yep, thank you.
It's a bit of a blustery day out here. What are your thoughts on how this one's going to shape up?
Well, on paper, the entrance really looked very strong, but it's always a tight match between us and Berkeley Vale. We're very fierce rivals, so they'll give us a tough game.
You touched on it just before when we were talking off air. A lot of the players for Berkeley Vale, ex-entrance boys as well. There's plenty of player transfers between the two sides over the years.
Yeah, there always has been. The boys like to play with their mates sometimes, so there's a few players drift back and forth. But yeah, this side, first grade side, there's a lot of ex-old boys here.
And as you say, very, very close tussles quite often. They played earlier in the year, and I think it was 20-16 the entrance ran out winners, which would probably belie where the two teams sit on the ladder.
Yeah, that's right, and we were expected to run away with that, but we only won in the last 5 minutes.
You see, referee Bowen just sends one of the players back to play it on the mark. As the entrance creep up towards halfway now. Sean Sinclair taking that one forward, and he beats the first tackle, takes it up to the attacking 40. He had Jay Florimo in support. Killick into dummy half. Goes to the right, off the boot of Pearsall. Doesn't go too far. Still tackle 5. Looks like that's been played out off the legs, has it? We're waiting for the signal for the referee. And he will say 6 more tackles here to the entrance Tigers. Unfortunate bounce there. So you see Tonga drops it back under to Florimo. Florimo takes it inside the 10 with a strong run. And Alex Moore there just for the second effort in the tackle. Couldn't clear the ruck quickly enough. And they'll get a new set of 6 here. Looks like they'll take the tap. They do. Tonga. Dummies. Gives a short ball.
Oh, Noah Easton spills it.
Interesting to see what happens here. Yeah, he's saying it's stripped out one-on-one by the Berkeley Vale player, so we might have a goal line dropout here. I thought that Noah had that sort of in his breadbasket. It wasn't a spill but a strip, so Rob Bowen on the spot there, and the Tigers will continue to mount their attacking pressure. Who's going to be the keys here for the home side today?
I think for us today, our captain, number 9, Matt Killick, is very, very strong defensively. And I think the number 12, Jay Florimo, Jay's been playing really well, and he's a great impact player for us since he come from Wyong.
He certainly is a strong player. He's played at that New South Wales Cup level for a number of years, Jay. So, and he's always a good one for the commentators because he's easy to pick out there.
Yeah, he is.
As we see the Tigers on the attack there, sloppy play, the ball from Matt Nelson. Speaking of guys in form, Matt Nelson back-to-back hat-tricks the last 2 weeks. He'd be happy to get another one of those this week.
And the Nelson brothers, they're playing so well. Grant's been with us for a couple of years now. Matt come back last year, I think it was. And, mate, the boys, they're really great footballers.
Yeah, the Tigers have had a couple of easier contests the last 2 weeks, taking on the lowly Rimba and Kincumber.
Yeah, well, the game against Kincumber, we went out there thinking that we were in for a real game because they were threatening there in the season, they're 3rd and 4th, but they capitulated and it was a great win.
You see Mitch Renwick go forward and something that stood out, gets an offload away. Good support play there. So Hayden Green in the 6. Something that stood out for me just seeing this. Berkeley Vale side very big on the edges, 2 big centres.
Yeah.
So as they go forward now, that's Kane Wynyard with the ball. Takes it up over the 40. Lincoln Tubridy into dummy half. Comes to the right, holds it up and gives it off to Brody Green. Back to the left, he goes out the back. Cut out pass. Finds the 14, which is Mitch Green. Entrance try to drive him towards touch, but can't find the edge of the field. A little bit of uncertainty here, Berkeley Vale, as they put up the high ball. It's going to be a little bit too deep, though. And the entrance will have a 7-tackle set here, coming from the 20-metre line. It's a little bit indecisive, the Panthers, when they do get that attacking opportunity. And there's that man you talked about earlier, Florimo, with a nice hard run and picks up an easy 10 metres. A roll at the left, one of the 100 gamers, Perry LeBrock, coming in for a run there off his wing. Harley Ridge breaks through, he's away, he's over the 40, he's over the 30, only the fullback to beat, he's looking for support. Oh, he spins around, he's managed to beat himself there. He's bumped through another couple. He's broken about 6 tackles, he's brought down 4 out from the line. Options set left and right, they go to the right. Sinclair goes himself, tries to carry a few over, but he's brought down inches short. Again, Tonga to the left, Pearsall to the right. Which way will they go here from dummy half? Looks like they're going to Pearsall. They've got the numbers if they can use the hands. And there it is. No, they've had a forward pass by the look of it there. Must have been that ball from Grant Nelson when he found, it looked like Corrigan out on that right edge. I believe Corrigan also a 100-gamer.
Yep, today, he's been a great local for the entrance and had a career with South Sydney in the first grade in the NRL and come back to us a couple of years ago to play in the first grade side. Retired and back again this year.
One of the John Farnhams.
Yes, yeah.
It's always good when you get those guys who got that NRL. And you know, even guys like Jay, we talked about it before, with that New South Wales Cup experience, coming back and giving back, I guess, to this level of football, because it brings those other players around them up a double level.
It does, yeah.
You see a strong run there from Kai Knight. You see the intensity of line speed early from the Tigers here. Brody Green taking the ground there. Berkeley Vale trying to find some lateral options rather than carting it forward up the middle. Good offload there. Mitch Renwick chooses not to use the support play. Bumps over Tonga, but loses his footing. Gets a good play the ball, however. Alex Moore puts a little kick through in behind. If they can get the bounce, it was almost there, but just couldn't quite be reeled in by Hayden Green. And that'll give the Tigers an opportunity to bring a set out from their 30. That man we talked about, he's got the back-to-back hat-tricks. Matt Nelson taking that one forward. Picks up a couple of metres. You got Corrigan going forward over the 40. Plenty of players putting their hand up to take this forward, but it's Noah Easton. Takes it over halfway with a good 10-metre run. Just slow play the ball. Come back to the left. That's Ryan Doherty with the ball in hand. He's taken down. They go to Tonga. Shapes the kick. He steps. Shows the ball again. That'll be tackle 5. Pearce will set to the right. He sends Sinclair through as a blocker. Goes to the air. Almost taken there by Corrigan. Looks like he's knocked it back. Looks like it's still tackle 5 as Nelson scoots across field. Throws a big cutout ball. Finds Ridge. Ridge finds LeBrock. And in he goes in his 100th game. Referee and touch judge are happy. Referee Bowen points to the spot. And the Entrance Tigers open the scoring through that man, Perry LeBrock, in his 100th game.
Yeah, great movement there. Looked like they were going to hand over the ball after 6, but spread it back across the other side of the field, and in he went.
Yeah, Matt Nelson showed some good game awareness there. He's sort of drifting across field and then saw that he had a number of runners out wide, whereas everyone else in the middle was sort of a bit flat-footed.
Yep.
Threw a ball that probably you wouldn't expect from too many wingers, found the opposite side centre on the chest, and away they went.
You want to be careful passing the ball. He might end up in the centres.
And you get the call up. Might not pick up as many meat pies as if he takes one in. And it'll be Matt Killick to take the attempt for an out wide here. A very difficult attempt in the windy conditions. He'll have to be on his game today, Matt Killick, to start slotting some ones from the sideline in these conditions.
Yeah, mate. He's a fairly good kicker and very consistent.
Just having a look at the numbers prior to the game today, and just trying to find the ones that I had. In terms of goal kicking percentage, the Entrance overall this year kicking at about 68%. So not the worst, but not too bad in this level of competition. And I'll tell you what, nailed that one from the sideline. Drifted it back with the breeze. That's an impressive attempt. And that extends their lead out to 6 points to 0. The Entrance Tigers over the Berkeley Vale Panthers.
Converted by number 9, Matty Killick. Matty sponsored by iTalk Dribble Travel at Belmont.
Speaking of those stats, Berkeley Vale is probably an area where they've let themselves down a little bit. Their goal kicking this year only at 50%.
Yeah, you really need a good goal kicker to finish it off for you.
We've seen that at NRL level this year. The Cronulla Sharks, I think something like 3 games where they've scored more tries than their opposition and lost, so can be crucial. As they get a great bounce off the kickoff here, Berkeley Vale just bounces over the head of, and I can't make out who that is over there.
Sean Corrigan.
Sean Corrigan.
Yeah.
It looked like he got down low for it. I think he was expecting to skid on a bit, and it just sat right up, and he had no real attempt at it. Berkeley Vale with a great opportunity to respond quickly to those opening points now. We'll see what they can do here. Set very deep to the right. Green, he takes it, goes out the back to Moore. He goes the short ball to the big centre in Mitch Renwick. Brought down 5 out from the line. They go back to the left. It's Green again. He drops Wynyard under. He can't go anywhere as he's wrapped up quickly by Easton and another defender. Continue on to the left, Green. The show and go. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Looks like it was touched by the Entrance player.
Yeah, 6 again.
Looks dangerous when he drifts across field, Green. Brody Green looking with some footwork there. I think they just want the front rowers just carting up rather than trying to step 10 out from the line. There's Kyle McBrearty. He backs into the defence. The Entrance with plenty of numbers in there. They come to the right. They go at the back. Short ball there. Kai Knight. He gets it off. But again, they can't quite penetrate the Tigers line. Tigers with numbers in the defence and slowing down the tackle. You go at the back with a cutout ball. Green gives it onto his second row. He gives it back to him. Green looking for somewhere to go. He gives it off to Brody Green, who's now got the ball. A little confusing, this Berkeley Vale side. 3 Greens in their side, so trying to pick out which one's which.
Yeah, 3 brothers.
There's another one. That's Hayden in the 6. He gives it off to Tubridy in the 9. given it off and driven backwards. Alex Moore under pressure here on the last tackle. Gives it back to Tubridy. He's probably going to have to kick here, otherwise he's going to go to ground. No, he gives it off. There's Hayden Green. He gets away a pretty decent kick considering the pressure. Neither player really wanted to contest that one, and the ball bounces back. It'll still be 5. Now it's Brodie Green with the ball. Probably not the man you want with the ball on tackle 5. And he'll be tackled, and they'll hand over the ball. Probably not in a bad position after all of that.
Yeah. Good defence there from the Tigers.
As I said before, each time they get down here, apart from Hayden Green sort of skipping across field and trying to create some openings, they just don't seem to have too much direction. Alex Moore taking a little bit of a back seat. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get that sorted out.
Yeah.
Because you certainly don't want your prop getting the ball on the 5th tackle or giving off a second pass to your half-back right on the defensive line.
I know Coach Wooden for the entrance will be very happy with the defence there. He's very big on that, and he would have sent out a message to say well done to that set.
Yeah, they did very well, getting numbers in the tackle and slowing down those rucks, which really limits the opportunities as we see them now. Starting to pick up some good metres as they go forward, the Tigers. You see Killick out of dummy half, picks up some cheap metres. They go back to the right. Pearce kicks from inside the 40. He's managed to get it, keep it in field there. He's done very well, Jason Little.
Very well.
Made it look awkward. I thought it was going to beat him in flight and just skip in a touch to start with. But he's managed to keep it in and saved his team another defensive set. Looks like John Carroll carting that one up. He's come in from the right wing for a run. You can see already a couple of the Panthers players with hands on hips and hands on knees starting to tire. Go out the back here. It's Kai Knight again. He's got through a bit of work early. Florimo wraps him up here. Go back through the middle. Wynyard, he'll play it. Struggling to make any metres here. I was going to say, it might have been a bit of a shoulder charge on the kicker there from Sean Corrigan, I think. And referee Bowen's seen it exactly that way. And Berkeley with another opportunity here. Only 30 out. See what they can do here. Body language is not a great sign from the Panthers at the moment. Even normally up and about when you get one of those penalties, it picks up 40 or 50 metres, but they look very flat.
Yeah, they do, and they really need to spark it up a bit.
If they could get themselves over for a try here, I'm sure that would change the body language and the mood very quickly. As we see McGrearty, he carts it forward, takes it forward about 4 or 5 metres. That's a better run. Tubridy taking it forward. Ordinary play the ball though. And referee Rob Bowen will be having none of that. That's the second time that they've turned over possession with that. And I'm not sure who it was, but they've put it into about row Z of the crowd if they're numbered down there behind the dead ball line.
He's calling somebody out. I'd say somebody's giving him a bit of lip.
Yeah, I've refereed with Rob back in the day. He's not always a fan of constructive criticism from the players, as most referees aren't. And I've never seen a referee change their decision after you give them a bit of feedback either.
No, not at all.
No. I think Berkeley are just happy to have the breather at the moment.
Yeah, maybe Alex is just telling him he's having a good game so far.
Yeah, exactly. Alex has been around the traps. He should know Rob pretty well by now, I would have thought. Both been around here for a few years now.
Yep. Yeah, he's a great player, Alex Moore. He was obviously part of the Entrance Tigers for many years before he went back over to Berkeley Vale, and he's a tireless worker over there too. You know, keeping the side together.
Certainly is. You see the entrance now with the feed to the scrum. Well, Brock, not much to him, but he doesn't mind coming in 100 miles an hour into contact.
Yeah, there isn't. He made a comeback this year. He hurt his neck about 3 years ago and thought he'd never play again. It was a pretty bad way, but yes, he's come back really strong.
He certainly has. We see Tubridy just working Florimo a little bit too much there, and Jay got up showing his displeasure, even though he already had the penalty. A little risky manoeuvre, that one. Years gone by, that would have sparked an all-in melee, but under today's rules, everyone just wanders off and leaves it as it was.
Yeah.
Pick up about 10 metres. He can be a bit feisty at times, Jay Florimo, as we see him take it forward again. Just keeps on fighting, gets the offload away. LeBrock shrugs off the first tackle. Can't get clear of the next two, but they're into the attacking half now. So Harley Ridge cart that one forward. Gets a quick play the ball even with. And there's Tubridy again in that ruck, just hanging onto the boot. I was going to say he did well there, Ridge, to play the ball with the opposition hooker hanging onto his boot. Hopefully this doesn't descend into constant.
Well, they want to be careful because Rob will put people in the bin.
Yeah, that's correct, and especially when it's the same bloke, two out of 3 tackles, giving away a penalty. Let's see what he's trying to do, but there's a clear line there. They come back underneath the ruck. Tonga to Florimo. He palms off the first. Can't quite get free of the tackle of Renwick. Notice they were having a little bit of a running chat battle just before, so as they hold on to each other here, and be interesting to see where this goes to.
Yeah, a bit of a scuffling back
play. Correct. LeBrock.
And Robbie's just letting play go on, so...
As we see Grant Nelson dive over, albeit after a little ankle tap, threw off his momentum, but he'll extend their lead, and that's some great advantage play by Rob Bowen there. The Berkeley Vale players are the ones wanting to carry on with that.
And he let the play go.
Exactly right. So that'll be 10 points to 0 now, the entrance leads. Almost halfway through this first half, but a good try there to Grant Nelson.
Number 1, Grant Nelson. That's sponsored by Eric McCarthy Electrical.
Just looks like the entrance, if they can just complete their sets, get down into the right position, they're pretty much going to score probably 80% of the time. And the other thing is not getting drawn into what the Berkeley Vale's tactics here, I think, will be key, and I'm sure that'll be the message going out from Coach Wooden.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Chris. They can't afford to be drawn into any of that today. You know, there's only a couple. We've got to bye next week because we don't have a first grade. Then we've got one more game against Terrigal, and then it's semi. So we've got to concentrate and get ready for that.
Yeah, certainly, and you certainly don't want to have someone getting drawn into something that leads to a missing. Especially with a bye, you get a couple of weeks suspension, all of a sudden you're missing a semi-final game.
Yeah, that's right.
As we see, he's equally good from the other side, Matt Killick. That makes it 2 from 2 from him today, and that extends out the entrance's lead to 12 points to 0 here at Edsac Oval as we reach the halfway point of the first half. Berkeley with a little bit more effort now, jogging back down for this one. Interesting to see how this defensive set goes. As I touched on before, it has been known around plenty of the comps that Jay Florimo can have a little bit of a short fuse. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the person that Berkeley will keep targeting, because there seems to have been a little bit of that there in those last couple of sets.
Yeah, I must say I do like standing right down on the sideline when Jay's playing, because he never shuts up the whole game. And he does get under people's skin.
He does. He used to actually be entertaining to referee. I remember refereeing him when he was at Wyong and sort of the juniors and even the lower grades, because he's actually really good value as a referee. If the game was flowing pretty well, he'd always good for a bit of banter. Nothing too over the top, but he'd always have a bit of a laugh out there. So he's always a sort that enjoyed his footy. But as I said, can get drawn into a bit of a sledging match with the right people too.
Yeah. Well, we've loved having him here last year and this year, and it's been very entertaining, let me tell you.
He is a character, Jay Florimo. As we see, the entrants continue to cart it forward. Looks like that's Sione Tonga with the ball. And they come to this left edge. And Sean Sinclair making some big metres. He's made a good impact after getting called up into the starting side after the withdrawal of Mitch A. Church. Up to the 40 now with Ryan Doherty. Little kick at the line there from Pearsall. Entrance regather it. We'll have a change over there. That's tackle 6. So the Panthers have held them out for a set there. Let's see what they can do with the ball in hand. Bringing it out from about 18 out from their own line. John Carroll carting that one forward first. Only picks up a couple of metres. Again, the entrance with good intensity in their line speed. Riley Foote, the second rower, now getting involved. Takes it up to the 30. It's a better run from the Panthers. Again, a very slow ruck. Come back to the right. There's McBrearty. Moore skips back across to the left. Look for some running options. No one with him, so he goes himself. Coming just over the halfway now. Might take a few more runs of those from the leader, Alex Moore. You see Hayden Green just drills that one into touch, and we'll try and soak up some time and get a little bit of a breather for some of his forwards as they're starting to tire here. A little bit concerning to see for the Panthers when the strongest run of their set comes from their halfback.
Yeah, and he's probably the smallest bloke out there. Yeah.
He's one lot to shirt to work, though, as we talked about before.
Yep.
So
yeah.
See the entrance. With a scrum feed, 14 out from their own line. Matt Nelson, he goes forward. Takes it over the 20. Sinclair again, he's got through plenty of work in this early stint. It's probably one of his shorter runs so far this half. Go out the back to Tonga. Shorter running options, I don't think he was expecting that one. And that'll be tackle 3 on the 30-metre line. Better effort in defence this time from the Panthers. Doherty, he shows to Sinclair, but goes himself. He's beaten a couple here. Got the ball away to Nelson, who follows up. Doherty in a little bit of trouble in back play. They go to Tonga. Kicks down to this corner for LeBrock. Can he get there and tow it through? He does. Oh, it's going to bounce into touch. It was an awkward-looking kick. I think he was trying to just chip it back infield for his centre, but couldn't quite get there.
Yeah.
Sat up on him. But not the worst place to turn the ball over after their recent defensive efforts. They'll be pretty confident of holding the Panthers down in the defensive territory this set.
Yeah, they need to work hard in defence here, get the ball back and take it from there.
They certainly do. Trainer's giving a little bit of attention to, looks like Ryan Doherty out here. He took a bit of a knock to the lower leg. Not sure it's a knee or ankle. Have some time out here with about 16 remaining. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. He's rejoining the play, so that's a good sign. A little bit of a limp. Might just need to get that warm again. Referee Bowen gets the players organised to pack the scrum. Waves time back on, and Berkeley will bring the ball out from 10 out from their own defensive try line. Once they can figure out how many they need in this scrum. The confusion was they were making their first interchange on the far side. As we see Riley Foote with some big loping footwork cutting across field. And come to the right with Kane Wynyard. So that first change was McBrearty going off. We'll just see if we can identify who's come on for him. As Jack Weir carts the ball forward. Decent run, almost up to the 40. Go back to the right, there's Moore. He gives it off. Wynyard looks to get the arm free, does. It's pounced on though by Harley Ridge.
Oh, he's caught it. Oh.
No. So, referee Rob Bowen says he pulled it out one-on-one, but he's lost it forwards. Harley does not look impressed with that decision, but as we said before, I'm yet to see someone change it.
Yep. And
I'll go with Rob, who's a little bit closer than you and I are, so, and probably had the better side of view. I couldn't see anything but players' backs.
Yeah. But it was a good sign there for the entrance. I mean, their defence is very good there, and whether he dropped it or knocked it or whatever, they were all swarming all over him.
They certainly were very responsive from Ridge. I thought he was away.
Yeah.
So let's have Alex Moore feed this one on the 40-metre line. Still bemuses me to this day how players can't get the non-contested scrum right. There's Moore. He gives it off to Green. That's Hayden Green. At the back, Jack Weir. He's got himself involved a bit more in the last couple of minutes. Weir. They come back to the middle. Looks like the 3, which is Jay Hemming. Moore drops it under for Kai Knight. Probably the pick of the forward so far for the Panthers. Knight. He's not the biggest forward, but he's having a red hot go there. Moore again. Dummies across. Drops it under for Hemming, who's wearing the 3. It looks like he's playing in the forwards, in the middle. So you see Tabridi take a little scoot. Picks up 4 or 5 metres. Better set from the Panthers. Tackle 5. They go to Hayden Green. He gives it on. Looks like they're trapped out there with foot.
Yeah.
Just ran out of options there.
I thought they would have gone for a kick then to try and either get it back or force the ball, but they didn't.
No, it didn't. You see Nelson get the offload away. They don't pick up too many more metres on tackle 1 though, the entrance. As I said, they just really don't look like they're sure of what option to take there. A lot falling on the shoulders of Hayden Green in attack.
Matty Fisk is on for the entrance.
See, entrance again. A strong run from Ryan Doherty. Big difference to the entrance. You see most times there's 2 or 3 options, 2 or 3 runners going.
Yep.
So they kick early with Pearsall. Again from inside the 40. Just having a look here. It's been taken. Berkeley bench appealing for out in the full. Referee Bowen's having a conversation with his touch judge. Looks like Jason Little might have caught it just infield and then stepped out. So unfortunate for him. He didn't have that foot down out of the field of play before he caught it.
Yeah.
Hard to do on the run.
Yep.
And
once again, another decision that wasn't going to get changed no matter how much you plead with the referee.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. So he's got a fair boot on him, does Will Pearsall.
Yeah.
And he's using the conditions and the bit of wind today to his advantage. Have a perfect attacking opportunity here. Ryan Doherty to the left. He goes out the back to Tonga. Tonga dummies, steps across, gets it free. Harley Ridge stepping through.
Yeah.
And he dots it down. Made it look very easy there. Harley Ridge beating a couple of defenders. That extends the entrance Tigers lead out to 16 points to 0 here in the first half at EDSAC Oval against the Berkeley Vale Panthers.
Right to the entrance, number 3, Harley Ridge on his 26th birthday today. Well done, Harley. Harley sponsored by Konami Australia. Makes the score to the entrance 16, Berkeley Vale 0. About 12 minutes to go to half-time.
Interesting to see if Matt Killick can continue his goal-kicking masterclass in these windy conditions.
Yeah. Well, he's done 1 from each side, so we're 2 from 2.
Certainly is. You'd excuse him on a day like today for not having a good day, but he's off to a flyer. It's always nice for a bit of confidence, as we see Alex Moore coming out to... Well, I'm guessing he's not coming out to chat to Rob Bowen about the weather. I think he might be asking about that decision over on the far side.
He might still be saying, yeah, you're going all right, Robbie, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Just watch some of those decisions.
Yeah.
Robbie thanked him for his advice, his input.
Alex doesn't look too happy with the outcome of that discussion. I don't know. He's saying, look, can you maybe just give us a break, just reduce him down to 12 for 10 minutes, give us a crack here, Robbie. He's from that old school of captains, Alex Moore. If you can find a reason to come out and have a chat and just quiz you, ask if you're sure of those rules.
Yeah.
Put a bit of doubt in the mind, maybe. But I think someone as seasoned as Rob Bowen, they talk about guys that have played at high levels. Robbie's refereed all the way up to New South Wales Cup, so we'll put the mockers on Matty Killick. He's pushed that one across the face, and the score remains 16 points to 0 in the favour of the entrance Tigers over the Berkeley Vale Panthers here in this Central Coast Rugby League first grade fixture on Bar TV Sports. 10 to go till half time. They've had all the running so far, the Tigers, and it'd be surprising to see too much of a change. The Berkeley Vale Panthers looking quite flat at the moment. If the Panthers are to get back into this one, Pete, they're going to need to... Well, they certainly want to be the next one to score.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly. Yeah, there's only 10 minutes to go to half-time at this stage, but they don't really look like scoring, so...
Well, they've picked up a little bit, but it just still seems... Once they get inside that 20, they just seem lost for who's going to do what or what they're going to do. Even Hayden Green, that last tackle 5 option, as you said, it looked like he was shaping for all money to kick it for himself, and then he just for the last minute decided to throw it to a second rower. Jay Florimo again. Yeah. The fiery, living up to the fiery redhead name tag.
Yeah.
He doesn't take a backward step, that's for sure.
Yeah.
There we go. He's getting involved in this one again. He and Hayden Green having some words. Nelson in. Doherty gives it off.
Fiske. Yeah. He's just joined us this year, Matty Fisk. He's played for a few clubs and come over to the entrance, and a bit of a cold hero now with that mullet going.
Yeah, I was going to say the Mahe Fanua haircut.
Yeah.
Did I see him out there in reserve grade as well?
Yes, he was, yeah.
He's made some bullocking runs in reserve grade. A cut-out ball there. Looked a bit questionable, but the kick back inside from LeBrock. Didn't quite get the bounce Pearson wanted. I think he's knocked it on there. So I think that'll be tackle 0. And a penalty. Grant Nelson just got tangled up a bit there in that ruck and couldn't get out quickly enough. The entrance might have been lucky in that lead up to that. The pass that went out to the winger. And the touch judge was just a couple of steps behind and couldn't call it. But some nice enterprising attacking play. And Perry LeBrock, he's had more action than most wingers getting a full match in the first 30 minutes here. He's had a try, a couple of kicks, been in everything.
Can't complain about not getting the ball. Yeah, the wingers do get involved, but you see that now everywhere. The wingers always coming in, taking a hit up.
It's actually a nice looking kick back inside. I think it's the one he was looking for the first time on the bouncing ball. And again, the intensity and line speed here, a bit of aggression from the Tigers. Come out to the right, and that looked like it was the 20. Liam Scott on for the Panthers, starting to make a few changes. Brody Green, another of the Greens. Taking it up over halfway. Tubridy gives it out to the left. A little skip step from Jack Weir. He's taken a while to get warmed into this game, Jack Weir, but starting to look strong, picking up good metres. Alex Moore with pressure on him from Jay Florimo. I think a lot of those chases might have been in front of the kicker, but we'll see if they pick that up. The offload away. Big tackle there on Luke Chant by the veteran Alex Moore. Cut out ball to LeBrock. He's on again here. No, he runs out of space. Steps both of them. Gives it back inside to Ridge. He's looking for his second. Shrugs off the first tackle. Skips across some more. Beats some more. Beats another couple of defenders before he's dragged down by his collar.
Great metres. Good work.
10 out. They come back to the left. There's Fisk. Can he barge over? He can.
Yeah.
Next to the uprights. Matt Fisk. And there's some reward for all his hard running in reserve grade and backing up for a second game. That extends the lead for the Tigers out to 20 points to 0 over the Berkeley Vale Panthers here at EDSAC Oval. What a try from the mulleted phenom.
Number 10, Matty sponsored by So we've got about 6 minutes to go to half time. So it's 20, Berkeley Vale 0. Right.
That'll add to his cult hero status here at EDSAC Oval. Marging tries like that.
Yeah. Try and reserve grade. Try and first grade.
There he is, giving everyone the mullet flick. The crowd goes up. Not a bad day out of the front row. A couple of tries.
Yep, he's very keen footballer. Studies the game, studies his own game fairly meticulously. Gets it videoed, watches these games, Bar TV games.
Looking at the hairdo and the way he embraced the crowd, though, I'm guessing he's got a bit of a light-hearted, so he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Oh, I don't think so. No. He just loves his footy, that's all. And as I said, he's become a bit of a cult hero here.
Saying that, the country footy is built on characters of the like of that, so...
It is.
A little bit easier attempt this time for Matt Killick for his 4th attempt. Makes no mistake. That extends the lead out to 22 points to 0. As As we tick down, only about 5 remaining here in the first half. Just remember that clock on your screen is only a guide on the Bar TV Sports live stream. As we don't stop that one for timeout, unfortunately. We are ticking down now, 4 minutes to go as Berkeley Vale saunter back very slowly, not looking too interested. I've got to say, Alex Moore was close to the highlight of the game with that tackle on Luke Chant just before. Luke Chant never saw him coming, and I don't know if his ribs are still intact.
Yeah, no, it was a bone jarrer, and that's the sort of thing that Alex can do to lift you.
As we see the ball spilt there by Matt Nelson.
Yeah,
it was just a sort of a wobbly spiral was coming towards him. Not easy to take in these windy conditions, and he sort of confused himself as he spun round. And Berkeley Vale, as we tick down into the last couple of minutes of this first half with an opportunity, can they post some points here? It'd be nice if they could get some points for them going into half time just to add a bit of fight to the contest.
Yeah, let's see what they can do.
Here's Alex Moore. Gives it off to Mitch Green. He's skipped across field. He's very slow play the ball. They go back. Kai Knight. He'll be leading the hit-up count, I think, for the Panthers by a couple. They're set both ways here. Which way do they go? They go to the left. They find Alex Moore. Short ball. Couldn't quite be reeled in there by Jay Hemming. They turn it over again, Berkeley Vale. It's a bit more promising then. They had a little bit of shape to their attack at least this time. Alex Moore taking the leading hand for the first time probably inside the red zone. And they look a better side with him taking control of that ball play and just allowing Hayden Green to play his ad-lib running, I think.
Yep.
As you see, Jay Florimo, interesting to see what sort of attention comes in this ruck. Again, they get numbers in on Florimo. They've done it each time. There's the flying mullet of Fisk. He'll be all up and about now. He'll be eyeing off another try later in this fixture. Entrance rolling on up towards the 40 now. There's a skipper, Killick. Kicks out from inside the 40.
Nice kick.
Jason Little's learned his lesson. He's back deep early in this set. Brings it back. Skips the outside of Killick, but it was enough to stop him. In partnership with Pearsall. Bring it forward on tackle 2 to the 20-metre line. Oh, strong tackle there from Harley Ridge on Mitch Renwick. 2 big-bodied centres coming together there. Yeah. Both big enough to well and truly play in the back row, but they both move well, and we saw some good, strong contact there as they go to the left through Moore here, the Panthers. Green standing a little flat-footed, gives it back off to the 20, Liam Scott. He's brought down on the 40-metre line for tackle 5. Green gives it off to Moore. Gets an offload away, no. Referee Bowen says he was held there. Probably a fair call too. He's on his back as he threw that one. They turn it over with about 30 seconds to go here. They have a couple of plays here, the entrance. What can they pull off? Fisk. Berkeley defender making the smart decision to go around the legs there. I think he'd bounce off that upper body. We've got time off here.
At the back play there, somebody's injured.
Yep. And the clock sits at 16 seconds. They've got tackle 1 here for the Panthers. Matt Fisk very keen to play the ball here. He's asked 3 or 4 times if he can play it. The referee, Rob Bowen. Just trying to work out who it is getting some treatment in back play. It looks like it might be Jay Hemming, wearing the 3 but playing in the middle of the pack. We're back underway here. Florimo, he'll wind up. Dummies. Alex Moore sniffing about for an intercept. That was knocked out one-on-one. He's going to get run into touch here, I think, and that will be all she wrote for the first half here. We go to the break at Edsack Oval. The home side, the Entrance Tigers, leading 22 points to 0 over the Berkeley Vale Panthers. We'll rejoin you in about 5 to 10 minutes for the second half of this fixture in the Central Coast Rugby League, courtesy of Bar TV Sports. Welcome back to EdSac Oval here for the second half of this Tui's Rugby League Central Coast first grade fixture. It's 22 points to nil as we get back underway here with the boot of Alex Moore of the Berkeley Vale Panthers. It's the Panthers in the black and the white, running from right to left if you've just joined us. As we see the cult hero of the entrance, Matty Fisk, with that flying mullet, winding up and bringing it back to the 20-metre line. For those of you who didn't join us in the first half, I am joined by Pete Lawler of the Entrance Tigers. You'd have to think Coach Wooden would have been pretty happy with that first half.
Yeah, I think so, Chris. Shane's, he's very measured in what he does say to the players, and but he would talk about, they would have had a plan in place this week, and I'm not privy to that this week, but yeah, he would have, and he would have reinforced what they spoke about during the week at training, and so I'm hoping that everything's going to plan.
As you see, Tony Tonga under a bit of pressure there as he looked to kick from inside the 40.
Yeah.
He's only tackled 4 though, so they've got another one up their sleeve. So you'd expect that now. Look to Pearsall. No, they go to Jay Florimo. The inside out torpedo bomb. Unfortunately, just a metre or so too big there, and finds touch, and he's got a decent boot on him, but it's not the most accurate one, Jay.
Yeah. That'll be Florimo's last kick.
Yeah, I was going to say they'll take his kicking licence away after that one.
Yeah.
As they hand over possession on halfway. And they're played by Mitch Renwick.
He'll have all the excuses under the sun why that didn't work, that kick.
I was going to say, the sun in his eyes, the wind today.
The wind, the snow, everything.
You see another one of the Greens, Brody, take that one into contact. Alex Moore drifts across. Gives it back underneath to Kai Knight, who's driven onto his back in a strong tackle from Florimo and Killick. Liam Scott gives it off. Ends up with Hemming. And come the blind side. Hayden Green toes it through. Nelson makes the option not to play on that one. Probably a good choice, would have been driven into touch. A little bit of a scuffle in back play here. Referee Bowen continues on with play. He's got time out here. It's like only 1 or 2 Tigers players surrounded by a number of Panthers players. Liam Scott throwing some open hands there at the end. It'll be interesting to see what the touch judge has got to report here.
Yeah. Don't know how that started then.
No, I missed the...
It was just behind the play. They played on and I was watching the play.
Yeah. I was too busy rapping Grant Nelson for making the smart decision of not playing at the football. So interesting to see what they've got. Referee Bowen just separates the 2 teams. The far side touch judge comes in. I don't know that he's going to have too much input on this one. But the near side touch judge, he was right with them, so he would have had the best view of what started and ended up occurring there. It appeared like it was just mostly push and shove, and hopefully that was the case.
He's just calling out both the captains, so...
Yeah, so enough of that. No more handbags at 10 paces. Let's get on with playing footy. I think that'll be the abridged version. As always, Alex Moore just obviously agreeing with him there and just saying, that's a good piece of advice, Rob. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I think we might just have a play the ball over here.
I think,
I don't mind that. If there's nothing in it, that's fine. Take control, cool it down quickly, and let's get back on with playing football. And that's exactly what will happen as Jack Weir will play it about 2.5 out from the try line. Tubridy underneath. Scoots through, kicks at it. Can he get it down? I think he has. He's got the ricochet. Referee Bowen says he's got it down, and Berkeley Vale, they'll open their account early in the second half here. And that'll bring us to 22 points to 4. Looked like it just shot up off the boot. It might have been off Florimo after Tubridy grubbed it through, and it came straight back to him, and he dived over. So the Panthers, they've got a little bit of fight in them yet. Wasted no time in opening their scoring here, the Panthers, and lucky bounce or not, they all count the same.
Yep, they do. That's right.
So that man Hayden Green, who will have the conversion attempt from just to the left of the uprights. Similar spot to where we saw Matt Killick with his last successful conversion. Hayden, the primary goal kicker all season for Berkeley Vale. He's got 15 of their 18 goals they've kicked this year. Makes no mistake, so that'll take us to 22 points to 6, and a little bit of flickering fight in the Panthers here. If it'd be great if they could back it up with a good set coming out of their own half.
Yeah, they'd be happy with that early in the second half. Tigers don't want to relax here. They want to keep the foot on the pedal.
They'll be looking to reset and really just keep that line speed intensity they had in the first half, because it sort of fell off a little bit there. There's a few players just sort of on their heels on the line. So they'll be brought down off the shin. And then regathered.
Jay Florimo again.
By John Carroll. He doesn't miss in defence very often, Jay Florimo.
No.
Have a pretty high... If we had someone that did all the stats on this level of football, he'd have some pretty high tackle efficiency, I think is what they call it in the NRL.
Yep.
He'd have a pretty high count of blokes to the left with sore ribs on the other team too. He's got a strong shoulder.
Yeah, and I think they'll need to respond the entrance after that try against them. They will come out hard in defence.
He's led here. He's led from the front, Florimo. As we see Liam Scott struggling to get back to his feet there. But we see Hemming, he skips through, made some good metres, but just didn't have any options. He had 3 to his left, but there was a defensive player in between them. Now Tubridy, the try scorer. There we go. I put the mock on Jay Florimo. He's missed that one. But the follow-up defence from the entrance out wide is strong. That's tackle 5. 22 out from the try line. They go to Hayden Green. He finds Alex Moore. Come across. That's Mitch Green. Keep coming. That's the second time today they've found Riley Foote, who, no offence to him, he's going all right when he goes forward, but he's not really a ball-playing last tackle option that you want left with the ball on the edge.
Yeah, and I think both their kickers had the ball in their hand too for Berkeley Vale. I would have thought they were going to put one over.
Yep. Yeah, I was actually expecting to see Alex just take the line and maybe roll it in behind. Thought it might have been the option. The grubber worked well for them last time they were down here, or at least pinned down, but the entrance now with the ball in hand. See a couple of tackles beaten there.
Harry LeBrock again.
He's been strong today, Perry. Good run there. Ryan Doherty, it looks like his legs come good, which is great to see. So they go out, Tonga skips across to the line. Nelson shrugs off the first, gives it off. Harley Ridge, he's hunting the corner for his second. Tried to wrap up around his neck. But I think he's got it down there in the corner, the far side from us here on the grandstand. And that's a quick response from the entrance Tigers through Harley Ridge. 26 points to 6, the Tigers lead here at their home ground, Edsack Oval, over the Berkeley Vale Panthers. Kick to come, and we'll expect that'll be Killick. Pete, I think I heard you say before when he scored his first, is he a birthday boy, Harley Ridge?
Yeah, apparently it's his 26th birthday today.
Not a bad way to celebrate with a double, and he'll be keen to get a hat-trick, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's a very strong player. Had a few injuries over the last couple of years, ankle injuries, and but he's very strong.
Certainly is. He's made a couple of fairly incisive runs so far today, that's for sure. And that quick response will certainly dampen the spirits of the Panthers. What about your man Killick? You back him in from out wide again here?
Yeah, he should get this one.
Bring it back with the breeze. Tell you what, you've hit the nail on the head there. He slotted another one from the sideline. They want to kick more from the sideline. 28 points to 6, the entrance Tigers lead. 8 gone in the second half here at Edsack Oval.
Geez, I wish I could punt like that. If I could pick him that well, punting, I'd be laughing.
Yeah, I was going to say, he would have been probably paying about $240 from out there, so some good money on that. And that extends his record today to 4 from 5, kicking at 80%, which is a nice little afternoon out in this blustery day. The Panthers now find themselves in the all too familiar position of standing at halfway, ready to kick back off and give the Tigers some more possession. Alex Moore sends this one fairly deep. Grant Nelson takes it easily though, just inside the 10 metre line, and gives it to Fisk, who bumping and barging through. Coach Shane Wooden will have trouble leaving him in reserve grade next week if he keeps playing like this. And we've got a number of players in all sorts here.
Yeah, it looks like he's hurt two of the boys, two of the Berkeley boys.
Yeah, and not two small ones either. Two of their middle forwards.
Yeah, he does love taking the ball back. It's one of his favourite things, bringing the ball back off the kickoff.
He's just looking at him, just going, "Come on, can I get on with playing this one? Just want to play the ball, sir." It's great. You see the mullet flying behind him as he runs in there at 100 miles an hour, and then it's like watching 10-pin bowling.
Yeah.
As they come out, they spread it to the right. Berkeley a bit more intent in defence here, getting a couple of numbers into the tackle. Bit of aggression there from Jack Weir. And they continue to the right. That Josh Walsh with the ball, who's come on off the bench by the look of it. Tries to get his arm free. Can't do so. Killick. Goes to Doherty. Good sign for the Tigers that his legs come good from that early knock. He's been a workhorse through the middle, as we see Florimo, speaking of workhorses. Driving himself forward. Tries to get the quick play the ball and does so. Pearsall kicks back inside. Doherty might have been in front of him. Interesting to see what the decision is there, whether it'll be 0 or 1 for the Panthers. Looks like just tackle 1. Obviously batted back there by the Panthers defender. And again, I think Robbie Vale might have hit that nail on the head there. He's had a good game so far. Not too many controversial decisions to make. Slow play the ball from the Panthers. As you see Hemming, one of those players that came out worse for wear from that Fisk hit up not too long ago. Plays the ball. Carroll gives it off to Liam Scott. Takes it up to halfway. A little bit more intent in running from the forwards here from the Panthers now, which is good to see. Alex Moore, though, left with not many runners. He gives it back to Hayden Green. Looks like he spilt that one. And who's there to dive on it but the flying mullet, Matt Fisk. He's everywhere at the moment.
He is. He's having a great day.
We see another one of the bench forwards, Luke Champ, cart that one up.
It looks like Fisky's heading off now and Jake Woods is coming on.
Ball thrown back there. The Panthers dive on that one. Holy foot with a quick reaction. And we see Matt Nelson now down in back play as Alex Moore runs forward again. Struggling for runners. Time out. I'm not sure if it's a knock or a cramp or... Looks like he's in a fair bit of discomfort though. Looks like he's nursing his ankle. Getting some feedback, both positive and taking the mickey out of him from the old boys on the hill. Nothing like it.
Yeah, it's always good to have the old boys here. No sympathy. No sympathy for anybody.
Especially not wingers, I've noted.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. No, they don't take much. They don't have much time for wingers.
A little bit of treatment, and he looks like he's getting back to his feet here. Still with a bit of a hobble as we have a few crackles and technical difficulties here. Hopefully our cameraman's magic touch can fix us back up. As you see, Florimo around the legs, involved in another tackle. And of course, who's there with him but Matt Killick. Both have some pretty solid tackle numbers for today. As we see Jay Hemming take it forward. Brody Green, one of the smaller front rowers you'll see wandering around, takes another hit up. Takes him inside the 20 of the Panthers on tackle 5.
Florimo in there again.
Interesting to see what the kicking option is here. They go to the right, it'll be Moore. There he goes, takes it to the line with a little grubber. But Grant Nelson's up to it, beats the first couple of tackles. Good tackle around the legs. I think it's Tubridy that's gone low on him there. In a classic hooker's tackle. But he gets the quick play of the ball, and halfback Sione Tonga in the 14 scoots forward, picks up 10 or 11 metres. They're going to try and get a roll on here, the Tigers. Referee Bowen says that he's crept that one forward a bit too far, trying to get the quick play of the ball. There's that man Jake Woods for his first enter into the fray. Doherty, he goes forward, gives it off at the line. Walsh, he's trying to get his arm free. Can't quite do so. Slower ruck than the Tigers might have liked. They come to the blind side here through Pearsall. He kicks it end over end down into the corner. Mitch Green looking for the bounce. No, sorry. It's Jason Little. Beats the first tackler. Brings it back to the 30. Wrapped up by Corrigan. They continue to go to the right here. There's Moore taking it in again. Steps back infield. Steps again. He can't beat Corrigan though. He had a dummy half. That's Kane Wynyard. Much better set this one from the Panthers as they head up over halfway. McBrearty's back on the field now. Tubridy comes out. Moore overruns it a bit, ends up getting caught on the back foot. He gives it off to Little, who's in midfield. And again, Florimo involved in the tackle. That'll be tackle 5. They come to the left, Moore with the ball in hand. Goes out the back. Little grubber in behind from Jake Weir. The weight looks just a little bit too big. Only one bounce, so not a bad kick from the second row there.
Yeah. But Grant was all over it, Grant Nelson, and
safe as house at the back, and he gives it off. And Perry LeBrock's away. In his 100th game, he crosses over the 30. Can he outpace Little? Little tries to hold on, drags him down, and does a great job in cover defence there. Great run from Perry LeBrock as he took it to the 10-metre line. The entrance Tigers now on the attack. An inside-out pass. Looks like Luke Champ with the ball now, brought down 3 short of the line. They've got numbers back to the left if they want to use them.
They need to penalty anyway. They need to.
Thought LeBrock might have been in for his second just before.
Yeah.
He just couldn't quite outpace. Little did very well in cover defence. Normally the left winger is in the middle of the field when that went down. Got to say, something that's really impressed me today. It's the first time I've seen the Tigers this year, and it's certainly impressed me. Grant Nelson's positional play at fullback. He reads the ball really well, and his decision-making is really strong.
Yeah, he's he very rarely has a bad game, and he does read the play very well, and even taking that quick tap then, he was up there, got the ball straight up, watched it go over the dead ball line, got it back and took off.
And as we see Florimo cut this one, he's not your typical build of modern fullback either. He's more of a throwback to the 70s and 80s fullbacks, the stockier ones.
Yeah.
So you see the Tigers go to the left. Doherty tries to spin through the line, can't quite get there. Player in the ruck there. Referee Bowen might not have many options here. I think he's going to try and do everything in his powers to avoid reducing Berkeley Vale to 12 men here, but they're not leaving him with many choices at the moment. That's 2 penalties in 3 tackles inside 5 metres out from their own line.
Yeah, it's a bit desperation, I think.
Yeah, they're looking like they're a little bit out on their feet, some of these boys from the Panthers. They put up a solid fight here. As you see, Woods has met strong contact there. He came head-to-head with Hemming. We come to the right. Out the back there, and there's that man we talked about, Grant Nelson. He gets the ball away. Corrigan trying to skip around. With Matt Nelson at dummy half. He gives it off to Pearsall. He drifts across field. Out the back of Florimo to Tonga. Tonga gives it on. He can't quite break the tackle there on the left edge. They go to Tonga again on the left. Defence is up quickly on him. Grant Nelson gets his arm free.
No.
Florimo reaches out. But he's lost the ball. Just over the goal line, referee Bowen will say. So it'll be a 20-metre optional restart to the Panthers. Here we go. This is the first bit of intent we've seen from the Panthers. It's like Jason Little. He's found a new lease of life in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Cover defence, try-saving tackle. Some ball playing in the middle, and now a quick tap. We see Hemming, he takes it forward almost to the 40. That'll be tackle 1. Kane Wynyard, he rolls up the sleeves. Tries to break free of the tackle, but he can't. Now Tubridy, he goes out, looking for runners to go with him. Can't find anyone. So he goes in the tackle and takes it to ground. Now they come back to the left with Kyle McBrearty. Picks up a couple of metres and almost up to the attacking 40. Alex Moore wraps back around to the right side. Gives it off to Kai Knight. Moore now organising traffic. Sends McBrearty through as a block runner. Has no running option, so decides to go high.
Who's got it?
Jack Weir takes it well. Pops it out the back. I think that'll be play on and tackle 1. Doherty carts it back to the 40. Did well to pick up that loose ball. Impressed by some of the versatility of young Jack Weir for Berkeley Vale so far. He's been involved in a few different things in his second half.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
he's been running around for a couple of years now, Jack. He goes all right.
Certainly does. We saw that little grubber in behind before. Took that high ball with a bit of ease. So hopefully Berkeley Vale can hang on to him for a few years to come. As I said, the Tigers now inside the attacking 30. Got options to the right. You see Woods gives it on to Florimo, who gives it on again. Fortunately, the ball bouncing at the back, sees Corrigan have to turn around and go back almost to the 40. Stands up Hayden Green, runs around Foot and Wynyard. Can't beat the next defender, and he's tackled on the 30. Gets to play the ball. They continue to the left through Tonga. He shapes the kick, which would have been an odd option on the 3rd, and doesn't. He passes. It's gone out the back, though. LeBrock does well to keep it infield. And referee Bowen's going to say LeBrock's knocked that one forward as he's tried to get the last touch on it, and the player was in front of him who dived on it. I think it might have been Sione Tonga.
Yeah.
And he was in the best spot and had the best view of that, Rob Bowen, so I'll err with him.
Yep, we'll go with that one.
And Berkeley Vale now have an opportunity from the defensive 40. Update from the NRL fixture happening in Canberra at the moment, and we've got the Canberra Raiders 18 trailing the Sydney Roosters 22 with 11 and a half minutes remaining. So I think we might have a split commentary box on that one. You're a Roosters fan by any chance, Pete?
Go the Mighty Chooks.
And I'm a Raiders fan. So
born and bred in Bondi, mate. Go the Mighty Chooks.
I thought most of Bondi's population were more of Maori descent than you, mate. Maybe in a different era, the more modern era. Yeah, okay. As we see the Panthers push up towards halfway here. And Weir with a nice strong run, took the ball flat and hard at the line. Picks up another 10 metres for them. Certainly hasn't disappointed any time he's taken the ball on. Moore skips back against the grain. Pearsall hangs on for dear life as he's joined by a couple of teammates in there, and even Jay Hemming from the Panthers helping to tackle Alex Moore there.
Yeah.
McBrearty holds up the sleeves, picks up another couple of metres. Tackle 5. Hayden Green toes it through. It looks quite heavy off the boot.
Yeah.
The right idea, but just well and truly overcooked. And another 7 tackle set here for the Tigers. You'd think at this stage, Coach Wooden probably not too worried about the margin of victory, but it'll be just wanting to focus on their discipline and their completion here.
Yeah, he'll be looking at all the finer points that they're going through, front of the finer detail.
As you said, the bye next week.
Yep. And he won a tough game, and he would want a tough game today. He wouldn't want it to be a runaway. So
certainly wouldn't. He wanted to be.
They've spilled the ball here, the entrance.
They have, and the Panthers will go on the attack with a full set from just inside the 30-metre line. But it looks like Tubridy's dropped that one.
Yep. It's a drop-a-thon.
It is, as the fatigue starts to show, and I think, as you said, in round 18 they'll then take on Terrigal, who currently sit in 5th, so they'll certainly be hoping that one's probably a bit more of an arm wrestling, get some bit of a warm-up for finals football.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it'll be a tough game leading in. Terrigal have been interesting this year. They sort of came out firing early on, but they've sort of dropped off a little bit again. But we had a hard game against them at their home ground a couple of months ago, so we're expecting another hard one in 2 weeks.
You'd be hoping one of the lower sides could maybe knock off the Roos in the meantime and give you a sniff of that minor premiership as well, I think.
Yeah, well, we ended up with a minor premiership last year by 1 point, which was quite interesting when we didn't think we'd get it. But we'll take whatever we get, and then we'll just work from there.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. So, Wyong with a star-studded lineup this year. Some of those names that, guys like Josh Manolato, he's obviously played NRL, Chris Centrone, Mitch Williams, who were, fixtures in New South Wales Cup for years, both for Wyong. Centrone played for a couple other clubs as well. They're a strong side. Wyong on any given day.
That's right. And when we played them last year's grand final and beat them, and the year before Terrigal beat them. So Wyong have been unlucky in the last couple, but it'll be an interesting competition in the semis, and we've got all 4 sides the entrance in the semis, so we're very happy with that at the moment. With the progress,
they may face a tricky encounter in that last round too. Wyong, they take on Erina Eagles down at Erina. A couple of ex-Wyong boys down at Erina as well, the likes of Kenny Tawata, so there'll be no love lost in that one. It'll be a physical one, I would have thought.
And we'll be hoping for an Erina win.
An Erina win and a battered and bruised Wyong out of it. Never hurts either.
That's it.
As we see now, the Tigers again on the attack inside the 20. They come out the back to Pearsall. He's got Nelson in support. Nelson with a cutout ball for the other Nelson. And he continues his try-scoring streak from recent weeks. That'll be his 7th in the last 3 weeks for Matt Nelson. Assist goes to Grant Nelson. And just a simple sweeping backline play there. And that extends the Entrance Tigers lead out to 32 points to 6 with a kick to come from Matt Killick, who's hitting them very well so far today.
So we're going to kick the count and
certainly looking strong when they get inside that red zone and start those sweeping backline plays, especially when Grant Nelson joins in. It looks like he can ball play a little bit as well. And
and you said it earlier, watching him play, and he seems to have an uncanny knack for that. He just seems to slot himself into the back line quite easily and can always spark something.
Seems to be one of those players that, and we talk about it as, being in the right place at the right time, but that's a very innate skill to have if you can do that consistently, both in, fullback positioning and then in an attack as well. To be able to do both ends of the field is it's a very handy asset to have for the Tigers, Grant Nelson, that's for sure.
It is, yeah.
And as we saw there, his brother does quite well at finishing them for him. As we see, Matty Killick pushes that one across the face. He's good for 2, then misses 1. Seems the pattern today. That takes him to 4 from 6 on the day. He's had plenty of points in the last couple of weeks, as the entrants have racked up some fair scores the last 2 weeks. I think combined score up around 150 points over the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
138 to 10 it's been the last 2 weeks after their loss to Wyong 3 weeks. It would be 4 weeks ago with the washout round.
Yep.
Catch-up games of last week. So.
Yep.
You see Alex Moore just pondering where to go and what he can do to try and spark a bit of revival from his team here as he sets the ball up on the tee. He's looking around.
Who do I kick it to?
Looks like he'll kick it to the far side here, the right-hand side of the Berkeley Vale defence, the left-hand side of the Entrance's attack, and the biggest body out there, Sean Sinclair, he winds up and carts it back up over the 20-metre line. Plays it back to Killick. Goes to Tonga. Jake Woods taken down there by 3 players in the tackle. Again, they come to the right. Pearsall to Walsh. He drifts a little sideways and is wrapped up in the end by Foot and Green. That's Mitch Green, one of the 3 Greens that we've touched on here today. As we see, Sinclair gets the offload away. And who else there?
Yeah,
Grant Nelson popping up in support again.
Yep.
He's easy to spot with those bright orange boots too, which helps the commentators.
Yes.
And you see Tonga goes across to the left. That'll be tackle 5, just inside the 40-metre line in attack. Will Pearsall, the midfield bomber, doesn't go far, bounces backwards. It'll still be tackle 5. Matt Nelson. It's a slice kick into the corner. Be interesting to see if LeBrock's onside here. If he is, it's a try. I think he might have been the only chaser that was onside. Cross kick from right wing to left wing. The bounce sits up for Perry LeBrock. His second try.
Yeah, that looked good.
In his 100th game, it looked very impressive, and we might have taken a bit of the mickey out of the wingers before, but you can put 13 wingers out there if they're going to play football like that.
It looked a bit messy too from that first kick, and then Matty Nelson just managed to get it away and put a deep kick in.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a kick and hope, but
certainly held up.
Bit of intuition between the wingers there. As soon as it came off the boot, LeBrock was away, and he's got to turn a pace and got the nice bounce. You got to feel a little bit for Mitch Green at the back for Berkeley Vale, because that bounce just did him no favours.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think the wind held that up. I think it was blowing into it, and it just slowed it down a little bit, which was good.
Looked like a kick, the classic end over end drop punt from AFL, a bit more than a traditional rugby league kick, and Matt Killick looks like he dug a hole there with his boot, but he's managed to knock it over, and that extends their lead out to 38 points to 6 with 12 minutes remaining. The Entrance Tigers over Berkeley Vale.
About 12 minutes to go to full time. Entrance 38, Berkeley Vale 6.
Looks like it. He wasn't sure where to kick it before. I think he'd be even less sure on this one, poor Alex Moore.
Yeah.
Did hear an eruption in the crowd about the Raiders game just before, but no, I think it might have been a false alarm. Getting my hopes up for nothing. Still 22-18 in the NRL game. Only 3 minutes remaining there. But about 12 remaining here in the entrance. Oh, Alex Moore, he's picked that one up after he's towed it through out from under the hands of Matty Killick. Caught him napping a little bit there, and the Panthers are going the attack.
He never stopped sinking, Alex. That was
19
a good kick.
Never say die. Let me see Wynyard. Takes it forward. Love to see the Panthers get across for another one here, just to put a bit of fight in this contest. See what they've got. Green. He goes to Weir, beats the first tackle, but Pearsall comes again. He's helped out. Go across to the right now, and there's that man again, Moore. Had Jay Hemming coming under a rate of knots, but he outran his own feet there, Jay Hemming. They go to the blind side. Moore again. Steps back against the grain. Can't quite beat them. That's tackle 5. Moore going into contact means it's going to be Hayden Green here on tackle 5, you'd think. Oh, bounce pass isn't going to help his cause, but the Entrance Tigers take their time getting up. Cross kick. That's another Green, but it looks like he might have knocked that on there, and we'll have Matt Nelson diving on that. Looks like Coach Shane Wooden might be just rotating a few of his key players. I think we've seen Florimo and Doherty both go to the bench so far.
Yeah.
Just resting them up. A week to come. They're comfortably in front here with 10 to go, and eyeing off that Terrigal game as a finish to the season.
Yeah, that week off will do us good. We've still got our 5'8" halfback Adam McGuinness, who injured his kidneys the other week against Kincumbra, and another couple of weeks rest for him will be good. So yeah, have all our key players back on deck.
Got some good depth options with Pearsall and Tonga playing the halves today, as we see. Out wide, Perry LeBrock winding up again. What can he do here? Steps back inside the fullback. Can he get there for a hat-trick? Looks like he has. And that'll be the third for Perry LeBrock in his 100th game here for the Tigers. So a great way to cap off the milestone, and that extends the lead out to 42 points to 6 with a kick to come for the Entrance Tigers over the Berkeley Vale Panthers. Not many better ways to cap a 100th appearance for your club at home on Old Boys Day.
That's right.
With a hat-trick.
Yep, it's a great effort for him. He really is a quality player, and it was really great news when we heard him he was playing again this year after being out for 3 years. So, yeah, and he's been playing well, slotted back in like he'd never been away.
That's his second hat-trick in a row as well. Got a hat-trick last week. And that'll bring him up. He'll be putting the pressure on Matty Nelson at the top of the try scorers leaderboard for the club. Matty now with 15 with his last try, and LeBrock will go to 13. So might be some fierce competition up against Terrigal, especially if LeBrock scores early. Bit of bragging rights. been good from out wide on that side so far, Killick. And he's done it again.
Doesn't miss that one either.
44 points to 6. The Tigers leading the Berkeley Vale Panthers here at EDSAC Oval in this Tooheys Cup Central Coast Rugby League first grade fixture on Bar TV Sports. And the Tigers will certainly be starting to think about that magical half-century mark that could come up with another converted try here. That'll be the next goal just to tick off, hopefully for them in the next 8 minutes, although it might also work the other way for the Panthers. That might be the conversation point down the other end is, come on boys, let's not concede. Let's just put another one on here and get ourselves to double figures with a bit of respectability.
Yeah, we played North Lakes the other week in atrocious conditions and we beat them 96-0, but the boys were rushing back to try and get another try to get to 100. So, but it was atrocious conditions and, very ordinary opponents.
Yeah, speaking of North Lakes, I was reading some of their players playing 3 grades at the moment. They're having a bit of a tough time up there at the top end of the coast.
Yeah.
I also saw, looking through some of the previous results, Berkeley Vale played him a couple of weeks ago. Very, it's a fairly unique scoreline. It finished 36-7.
Yeah.
So the few of the clubs that are struggling a bit for numbers on the coast. You touched on it before, Tukley as well. No first grade side this year.
No, that's right. It's not good for. Obviously, we don't want to see the other side struggling. We want plenty of opposition.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The more clubs competing at that level, the better. You don't want to have clubs folding or having floggings every week. It makes it really tough.
But we are very lucky. We've got a club mainly made up of juniors. There's very few imports, so we have a strong juniors, which is good.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yourselves and Wyong, probably the two of the stronger ones in that regard. And in a lot of other competitions, people see the teams that sit at the top and they think that it's you've grabbed everyone else's. But you have a look through, and anyone that knows the Central Coast Rugby League, you can spot in most of the other teams at least one, either the entrance or Wyong Junior, running around for most of the other clubs. So it's great to see a couple of strong junior clubs building on, and hopefully we can see the resurgence of some of those other clubs over the coming years. As we see another mistake from the Tigers here, which will see the Panthers with an opportunity to attack. And it's full time in the NRL game, 22 points to 18. The Roosters beating the Raiders. I'm glad I didn't make the road trip all the way down to cold Canberra for that.
Sorry about that, Chris, but never mind.
Oh, that's all right. Premierships aren't won in early August. That's what I kept telling myself. I can't remember what a premiership looks like. I was a Raiders fan. It's been 25 years.
Hey.
So as we see, the Panthers now going to the attack. Nice strong run there. Moore again looking for runners. Interesting to see. Jason Little, he's got himself very involved in the back end of this second half.
Yeah.
Gone infield looking for some runs.
Alex dancing around.
No one wanted to run with him. There's Jason Little again. Might be auditioning for a fullback role next week, I think, the way he's playing. And he certainly could do worse, although Mitch Green's done a pretty good job at the back today. Oh, the inside ball from Moore back to Tubridy just put the ground there. And I think you might find that, and he's almost kicked that into the lake there. Alex Moore.
Look, Florimo's kicked one back and Alex kicks it off.
Playing a game of Forsey backs here, the boys. Yeah, I think you might find that Little actually is playing at fullback, because it looks like we've got the 16, who is Matt Bailey, out on this left wing. So, I know, Little's now pushed out to the right wing. Just all swinging around, and John Carroll back to fullback. Everyone's taking their turn. As we see Sean Sinclair. He's done well with his late call up into the starting lineup today.
Yeah.
He's played really well, been impressive.
Yeah, he's had a few games in first grade and made his debut earlier in the year, and last year I should say, and he's been playing very well.
Some good depth in your front row stocks there when you've got Sinclair and Fisk coming up into the side.
Yeah.
Speaking of front rowers, Noah Easton, he hasn't had a huge number of runs, but when he has, he's certainly bent the defence.
Yeah.
Tony Tonga. Skips through.
Takes him on.
He's got Nelson in support on his right, but he goes to the left and gives it off to Harley Ridge. He'll dot down for his own hat trick. the birthday boy. And Matt Killick will have the chance to extend their score out to 50. It's currently 48 points to 6 with 3 minutes remaining. The Entrance Tigers leading the Berkeley Vale Panthers, and it's unfortunately for the Panthers, barring that one try at the start of this second half, been one-way traffic since half-time.
Yeah, they really kicked into a second gear in the second half, the Entrance.
It'll be interesting here. We've had a run of goal kicks. This will be his 9th for the afternoon for Matt Killick, and he's been kick 2, miss 1, kick 2, miss 1. So he's due for a miss, but I'm guessing you're going to back him in.
Where are we?
Down the left side. The left side's been his stronger side. He's missed his 2 from the right.
Yeah, I'll back him in.
To break his run, and I said he's 6 from 8 today so far. So 75%. Hit that one straight over the black dot. That extends it out. There's the half century. 50 points to 6. The Entrance Tigers leading the Berkeley Vale Panthers here at EDSAC Oval. With just on 2 minutes remaining in this fixture, the Entrance will be eyeing off another little try just to finish this one off, and Berkeley Vale, they'll be taking their time walking back here, trying to chew up the clock to ensure they only have to defend out one more set. Alex Moore making sure he uses up as much time as possible here as he wanders slowly back. He'll take his time putting down the tee and just resetting it. Just under 2 minutes remaining now. They'll be hoping they only have to defend out one more set and don't leak any more points here, the Panthers. They go to short kick-off. Is it going to go 10 metres? It has now. Walsh with a bit of a bobble. He's just gone backwards, but when Nelson's tried to dive on the ground, referee Bowen has said it's been knocked on, so the Panthers, 2 short kickoffs have paid off twice for Alex Moore. Might be a tactic he throws in a bit more often.
Well, yeah, probably a bit late with 20 seconds to go, but it's always worth a go.
Yeah,
I can't imagine this scrum getting
I was going to say, I don't think either side's really too interested in packing this scrum. They're shaking hands, so that'll be all she wrote here. It'll be 50 points to 6, the final score between the Entrance Tigers and the Berkeley Vale Panthers. Unfortunately for the Panthers, that will be all but mathematically the end of their season for 2019 in terms of finals football. The Entrance, they'll live on to fight another day and looking with one eye on that minor premiership should the leaders Wyong stumble. Pete, you're 3-2-1 for today, mate. Who were the standouts for you?
I think for me, 3 points for the Entrance, Jay Florimo. I thought he had a great game today. He was tackling everything that moved. For the 2, I thought for the 2 points, I thought Jack Weir for Berkeley Vale, he had a good game.
He was strong when he got involved. He probably warmed into it quite slowly, but both those were very strong and set the tone for their team when their team went forward. Yeah,
and I think the one for us, I'd say Grant Nelson. Grant was he was another great game at fullback again. So certainly. Obviously, the 2 hat-trick boys both standouts as well. Congrats to the 2 boys on their 100th games as well. Big thanks to you for joining me today, mate. Juggling the ground announcing with popping into Bar TV. We appreciate that, and hopefully we'll see you again during the finals on Bar TV Sports. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. The Entrance Tigers running out winners 50 points to 6 over the Berkeley Vale Panthers. I've been Chris McPherson, commentating today's Central Coast Rugby League fixture.